Over many centuries, the Earth's climate has fluctuated, cycling from ice ages to warmer periods. But in the last 100 years, the planet's temperature has risen unusually fast at 1.53 degrees Fahrenheit since 1880, according to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Many scientists are convinced that the sudden temperature increase is caused by human actions. Their leading theory posits that the Earth's greenhouse effect is directly tied to the combustion of fossil fuels.
Stated by the International Energy Agency, the three types of fossil fuels that are used the most are coal, natural gas, and oil. Coal is responsible for 43% of carbon dioxide emissions from fuel combustion, 36% is produced by oil, and 20% from natural gas. By effectively using nuclear energy, this dispute on how global warming is caused will come to an end. This alternative source doesn't emit any greenhouse gases. Nuclear energy is the energy amassed in the nucleus of an atom. It is liberated when a nucleus splits apart, which is called fission, and also when the nucleus fuses with another, which is called fusion. Researching nuclear energy accidents put this idea in perspective, and really made me question if nuclear energy is an effective source.
Oh, didn't see you there. You. Yes, you. You need to understand the pros of nuclear energy. Why, you may ask? Well, here, I'll give you 2 reasons. A conservative energy studier since 2009 has educated me 2 main reasons why we need to consider nuclear energy. The first reason why you should consider nuclear energy is because 1, no emissions for nuclear energy. What does that mean? For instance, nuclear power generates relatively low amounts of carbon dioxide. The environmental effects of nuclear energy can replace other energy methods that harm the environment today.
Oh, it feels so refreshing to take a clean, fresh breath of air. Just imagine what it was like if you couldn't breathe this fresh air because of fossil fuels and its emissions. I couldn't even imagine. Unlike nuclear power, like I said before, is one of the least damaging sources of energy for the environment, according to scientist Rendish, who's been studying nuclear energy for 10 years now. In an open letter published by the Brave New Climate blog, more than 65 biologists, including former UK government chief scientists, support the call to build more nuclear power plants as an essential part of a global strategy to protect this wildlife and our environment. Forget fossil fuels, we're going to turn towards nuclear energy. According to the scientists from 2012 Climate Vulnerability Monitor, in 2010, some 4.5 million deaths could be attributed to air pollution because of the production of carbon particles coming from fossil fuels emission. That's why we need nuclear energy!
Yes, I do, because we have a lot of uranium and it can be used without putting CO2 into the air. I guess that would be the same reasons. It does not put CO2 out into the air. You're not burning anything, and we have a lot of uranium that we can still use. I think we could talk about France and how it's working in France in a very positive way, and they are not having an energy crisis at all, and they're not having to deal with burning of fossil fuels. So I think we can learn from France, and I think I could, and I have, talked about how it's working positively in France.
Currently, the United States, Japan, and France are the largest producers of nuclear power, according to Makomi and Annie Brain Digital Technologies.
Many people have been too worried about the dangers and risks of death when using nuclear energy. However, when comparing the number of deaths caused by Chernobyl versus coal, it's clear which one is more hazardous. This chart from the educational YouTube channel What the Why shows just how much higher coal deaths are compared to deaths from Chernobyl.
The thought of nuclear energy and big power plants seems like a scary idea, but France has been working in harmony with it since 1964. Why do they like this form of energy so much? According to the World Nuclear Association, France derives about 75% of its electricity from nuclear energy. A big reason that France takes a liking to this form of energy is because of the extremely low cost of generation. The country gains on average of $3 billion per year from using this form of energy. PBS states that France had and still has very few natural energy resources. French policymakers saw only one way for France to achieve energy independence: nuclear energy. Fissionable uranium, a source of nuclear energy, is only a few pounds is needed to fuel a big city for a whole year. Why should we wait for our natural resources to run out? Why can't we be more like France and use nuclear energy as our primary source of energy? The big problem people have with nuclear energy is the nuclear waste produced. People don't realize that there is a method for treating and reusing the nuclear waste so it can be used in the reactor again. Not many of these recycling treatment plants exist currently in the US due to lack of funding, which is what we should focus on. According to the International Atomic Energy Agency, if we manage to recycle all our nuclear waste, that waste alone could power the entire US electricity grid for almost 100 years. March 11th, 2011, in Fukushima, Japan, an earthquake generated a nuclear disaster. The people weren't expecting the nuclear backup systems to fail, but nowadays, we have much better technology and precautions to keep people safe. The International Atomic Energy Association has put in new safety precautions to ensure that if in that situation again, our machines will not fail. Clearly, when in a safe environment, nuclear energy does not pose quite a threat.
We believe that nuclear energy is the most effective and environmentally friendly source of alternative energy compared to all of the other options, and we want more people to be aware of its benefits and consider using it. Some ways we can help spread awareness about this are: 1. Showing people this documentary to allow them to understand nuclear energy and its advantages. 2. Talk to your friends and inform them about nuclear energy and why we should be leaning towards it. 3. Post or hand out informational flyers about nuclear energy and its benefits. 4. Text, call, or use social media to help spread the word to your friends and family. 5. You could even contact your own science teacher to find out more information.
Support nuclear energy.